morning or afternoon depending on when you're watching this. Today is a quick review of the parts of the flowers. We're going to go ahead and jump right in. And the first part we're going to talk about is the petals. These we should be pretty familiar with. They're what give the flower its beautiful, unique shape, and they are very colorful. This is important because this is going to attract little pollinators like little bees or little butterflies. Next, we're going to talk about the sepal. This is these little small leaf-like structures at the bottom of the flower. They're called sepals. They're like small leaves at the base of the flower. Small leaves at the base of the flower. So those are the two sort of non-reproductive parts of the flower that I want you guys to keep in mind. And next we're going to go into the reproductive parts of the flower, beginning with the male reproductive parts, which is the stamen. So the stamen is going to be the male reproductive parts. And it's made out of two parts, the anther and the filament. Anther and filament. Now the anther is going to hold the pollen. Pollen is super important. It's all of that green and yellow stuff that you see on top of your car during the spring, and that is how flowers fertilize each other. And the filament is the stalk that holds up the anther. Is going to hold it nice and high so that little pollinators can actually go ahead and reach it. So those are the male parts of the flower, the stamen, which again is the anther and the filament. And now let's take a look at the female parts of the flower, which we call the pistil. The pistil. Or you might see it called the carpel. And the carpel consists of the stigma, which is going to be up here at the top, stigma. The style, which is sort of the tube that holds up the stigma. The ovary, yes, plants have ovaries. And inside of that ovary, we're going to have eggs, or we might call them ova. And that is the female parts of the flower. Rounding out our flower anatomy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clear this up a little bit and post a picture of it. Actually, there will be a picture of it on the slide so that you can see it. But this is the flower anatomy, and of course our pollinators are super, super important. They're going to go ahead and take that pollen from the anther, which is the part of the male reproductive part of the plant, so the anther is here, and they're going to take that pollen and bring it over to the stigma, and then that pollen is going to go down to the eggs or the ova, and then it's going to turn into, guess what? Seeds, which will then turn into more beautiful little flowers. How nice, guys. So I hope this was helpful. Go ahead and continue through the Pear Deck. Make sure you go over all of the slides. There's some great pictures up there for you. And make sure you complete those STAR practice questions. Have a great rest of your day, guys.